So this is an attack on Scotland's trans people, but it's also bigger than me and my community. This is an attack on devolution, and it risks democracy in the British Union itself. We've just seen the reasons that Alistair Jack has given out, that this is about protecting single-sex spaces. However, I would ask him and any opponent, when was the last time that you used a birth certificate to enter a single-sex space? When have you ever used your birth certificate to go to a toilet, a restroom, or a changing room, or use a service? So I'm very confident that this is going to be squashed in the courts. However, this is a very alarming development, not just for people who are trans or trans allies, but also for any passionate supporter of devolution. This concerns all of us. It concerns the whole of Scotland and all of the devolved areas in the UK. And we can't let this be the new normal, because if it becomes the new normal that Westminster can just introduce Section 35s and that becomes the precedent, then what does this mean for other legislation? Clearly devolved legislation that's coming forward through the Scottish Parliament. It's very, very dodgy, and if we don't win against this, if we don't win against this massive enemy, I really, really worry about the implications that this will have, not just for the trans community, but for the whole of Scotland. It makes you feel scared. It makes you feel afraid. But I constantly have to remind myself is that they're doing this because they want to push people like us back into the closet. This is ultimately what their main goal is, for people who are against LGBT equality. So I need to constantly, remind myself of that. And these people are basically just trying to shame you into staying out of public life, really, so you can be not seen or heard. Really, this is about a manufactured culture war by the UK government, and they want to keep that manufactured culture war alive. And the reason why they want to do that is because if I'm saying to you, be angry at your trans neighbour and not the UK government, we can skip out what people in power should be accountable for, because we're constantly fighting with each other when the real enemy is this Tory government.